Good morning. This is a meeting of the St. Louis City Parking Commissioners. I'm calling this meeting to order pursuant to Section 82.487 of the revised Missouri statutes. Ms. Ali, can you please call the roll?
Commissioner Tyus, Commissioner Green,
Proxy for Comptroller Darlene Green with Tanya Kemp present.
Commissioner Williams,
Present.
Commissioner Freeman,
Present.
Proxy Rusick.
Present. Thank you. The first item on the agenda is approval of the minutes from our last monthly meeting on January 26th of 2023. I'll entertain a motion to approve those minutes.
Motion to approve last parking commission meeting.
Second.
Roll call. Commissioner
Motion
Tyus,
passes.
thank you. Commissioner Tyus. Commissioner Proxy Kenner,
Aye.
Commissioner Williams,
Aye.
Commissioner Freeman,
Aye.
Proxy Rusick.
Aye. Next item on the agenda is a new matter. It's fund transfers. If you recall, we usually do these at the end of each fiscal year, depending upon fiscal and organizational needs. And Ms. Smart, our Chief Fiscal Officer, is here to present her request.
Good morning. I know that Shirley was able to send the spreadsheet that describes all the different transfers that we're looking to do. Just to give a little bit of information behind this, with the new Oracle system, transfers are required for all the different funds that we had prior to Oracle. The only fund that really needed to have transfers associated with it was our parking administration, because it was the only fund that we had that was looked at account by account in that manner. But now that Oracle is in place, all of our different funds related to our garages have to go through this same process. We have done other transfers throughout the year. If it is within what they call the family of accounts, which means if it's a 5-6 series number or a 5-2 series number, GL number, which is the numbers that you see on your on the spreadsheet that you were sent. If you can move monies within the family of accounts, there isn't a requirement to have a parking commission approval. You can move that with the comptroller's office by using a budget transfer form. But these are the situations that we have at this time that would require us moving funds that are outside of the family of accounts, because we have other funds that are favorable at this point, that we could use the movement of the funds to deal with areas that are becoming somewhat of a challenge. So with that said, what's going on here on the spreadsheet has to deal with specific situations that have been identified in the far right corner or the far right column of the spreadsheet. We have had, as you recall in the budget process, we had budgeted to bring security in-house. And with the goal of eliminating our outside security firm that we were paying at that time. Because it has been extremely difficult to find qualified people. And that's basically it. It's just been extremely difficult to find qualified people. We have just now been able to secure the two full-time positions that we had budgeted for security. We are still looking for the part-time person. But because of the fact that we could not hire internally, we have had to continue to pay the outside firm because security is important. So because of that, we need to move funds into the security lines and move monies out of some of the favorability that's showing up in the salaries because of open positions. So, oh, thank you, Cheryl. So the first couple of lines is the movement of monies out of our salary positions to cover some of those items down below, in particular, as it relates to the health and safety services in account 561-500, where you see we've got the note over here about Hudson Security and event security associated with that. Other areas that have required movement of funds, we've had to upgrade all of our phones. That was a little bit more of an additional cost to do that than we had anticipated. We've had to acquire some more uniforms, and which we're now looking to go back to maybe doing some other things from a uniform standpoint. During COVID, we had tried to eliminate that cost as a cost savings and try to do some other things within our facilities. We are finding that it is probably more beneficial to go back to a more standard and uniformed, for lack of a better word, uniform look within our facilities. So we've had to have some purchases along those lines. The other areas that have caught us this year, the gas prices, as we all well know, have been a little higher, and we did anticipate that in our budget, but it has been a little bit higher than we had thought in some cases. The roof repair that we had on the building that we're in, the Shoto building, was a little bit higher than anticipated as well. We've had additional renewals, increase in renewal prices for our Office 365, as well as one of the services that we use for our network, since we have our own internal network for the parking division called Logarithm. So those prices went up a little bit more than anticipated. We've had some fiber line issues over at City Hall that have required some additional funds there that was not anticipated. We just talked about the security. We've had some additional repairs at the Kiel garage as related to some electrical type issues. And our vehicle repairs, which during the COVID time, we really did not try to spend. We were very conscious about not spending a lot on that because there wasn't a lot of activity and things of that nature. Again, being very conscious about trying to lessen the amount of expense that we were incurring. Now, a lot of those vehicles really do need some repairs, and we're looking to replace some of those vehicles in this upcoming budget as well. But we've had more anticipated repairs on those vehicles. A lot of them sat during times of COVID, and different things do happen when cars aren't utilized in the manner that they are supposed to be. We've also taken advantage of the fact that there was a new conference that we've never attended called the Emerging Leaders Conference. And we had one of our employees attend that with the goal of doing some things, obtaining some knowledge from that could help our organization grow in some of the ways that we're looking to do. And we also had a little bit higher of a leasing commission associated with a property in Central West End under our property management company. So all of those, the majority of the movement that you're seeing here is within the fund itself, moving monies from one place to the next. There are a couple of situations where I am requesting movement between funds. One in particular is the the movement here from, for the event security, for Justice Garage for $8,500. Justice Garage, in terms of their salaries, they're hitting their salaries. They've been pretty much fully staffed the whole year. But there is excess money in the administrative budget that can handle that security need. Because again, in totality, the goal was to bring that in-house and not to have to pay an outside firm. So that $8,500 is moving from the parking administration over to Justice. The other area that is crossing funds deals with the roof repair and the fact that we have the capital budget that we're asking to move to $23,000 from that capital budget to cover the roofing repair that occurred on the Shoto building. Total budget does not change. It's just the movement of money to cover expenses that we know need to be paid. I can answer any questions that you may have at this time. The other thing I did want to say as well, when we do present our budget this year, these movements, there will be a column that will show you these movements from the original budget. So there will be the original budget plus the budget that incorporates these transfers of money. So you'll see both of them simultaneously during the budget season.
Commissioner Williams, did you have some questions? Commissioner Freeman, do you have any questions? Commissioner Kenner, do you have any questions?
Just a few.
Mhm.
Michelle, it's the leasing, I guess it's the leasing commission.
Mhm.
Can you expound on that a little bit more? You said this is an increase in one of your properties in Central West End.
Yes.
Can you
Really?
go into a little bit more detail on that one?
It's related to the Shamrock property that's there in our, that's attached to the Argyle Garage. And there were some differing type of negotiations that occurred as it related to that lease that were not captured in their budget that they had submitted.
Okay. I think that's the only one that I had questions on.
All right, thank you. At this time, I will entertain a motion to approve the fund transfers as requested.
A motion to approve the fund transfers.
Second,
Thank you. Motion carries. Ms. Ali, please call the roll.
Commissioner Tyus, Roxy Kenner,
aye.
Commissioner Williams,
Aye.
Commissioner Freeman,
Aye.
Roxy Wurzik.
Proxy Ruchek?
Yes.
Aye. Thank you all. Motion carries. The
Thank-
next, thank you. Really appreciate it. I know that we got you these numbers at the last minute, so appreciate your time yesterday and today reviewing and asking questions of Ms. Smart this morning. So thank you. The next item on the agenda is property management and brokerage RFP. We're not asking for a vote on anything, just wanted to give you all an update. Commissioners, as you're aware, we own different properties throughout the city, including the Shoto building, which is an office building. We also have retail space in our garages, the Argyle Garage in the Central West End, Central Downtown, which is at 7th and Pine, and then also our Justice Garage. We have a restaurant space there. On January the 27th, we received a 60-day notice that our current property manager was terminating the contract. So as a result, we did issue an RFP, which I provided to you all to review. It was published on February the 8th. Questions were due yesterday, and respondents are due to submit responses by March the 10th. We have formed a selection committee. The selection committee is myself, and I've been the lead in the office dealing with property management and brokerage. Also, Commissioner Freeman, who is over our properties, and our facilities director, Brian Early. So if any of the other commissioners, Commissioner Kenner, Commissioner Williams, if you guys would like to be on the selection committee, we are more than happy to have you participate. But the deadline is March the 10th. We plan to review the responses, meet as a committee, and hopefully have a recommendation at our next parking commission to approve a contract with a new property manager and or broker. So the property manager gave us 60 days notice. The broker did not. However, we just thought it would be a good opportunity to go ahead and put both of those items up for RFP. Do you all have any questions?
Shirley, when did this go out? When did the proposal go?
It went out February the 8th. It was posted on the city website, SDL Treasurer website. We posted it, or published, I think we're in week 2 at the St. Louis American. We have also, our current property manager did give us some names of some vendors that might be interested. So definitely emailed out links to those people. Also emailed links to some property management companies that our team are aware of that do have a city presence, and also the vendors that responded to our last RFP, which was back, I believe, in 2015. We have received questions from at least 2 vendors. So I'm expecting a good response.
Okay, thanks.
Any other questions? All right, so the 60-day notice meant that their contract would end the last day in March. However, with the RFP process and with needing parking commission approval, Michelle and I did meet with our current property manager, the vice president, and they have agreed to stay on till the end of April. So they will ensure a smooth transition from one company to another and assist through the end. So we greatly appreciate our current property manager for understanding the process that we need to go through as a city commission. And they're going to stay on and ensure things go smoothly, hopefully. All right, well, that is all we have for today's Parking Commission meeting. I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second,
Second.
Ms. Ali, please call the roll.
Commissioner Tyus, Proxy Kenner,
Aye.
Commissioner Williams,
aye.
Commissioner Freeman,
Aye.
Trustee Richard.
Aye. Thank you all so much. Have a wonderful day.